Welcome to another episode of Media Industries, the talk show that brings the classroom to the industry and the industry to you. I'm Nicholas Boston. I'm a professor in the Department of Journalism and Media Studies at Lehman College of the City University of New York. Media Studies is one of the courses I teach. Students in the class who are learning about the corporate structures and business strategies in the media industries produce this talk show. They invite professionals from across the media industries of print, broadcast, and digital, as well as industries that intersect with media, such as fashion and music, to come on and discuss their jobs and the states of their industries. Students take this opportunity to apply the theoretical knowledge they're gaining in the classroom. This is our third season of Media Industries, the talk show. We have a lineup of 6 episodes, each bringing you an eye-opening conversation with a different professional who makes the media that capture our world. Media Industries is recorded in our state-of-the-art studio in the Multimedia Center at Lehman College and delivered to you here on BronxNet Television. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Media Industries.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Spring 2017 season of Media Industries. My name is Ernie Ulysse.
And I'm Edward Criollo. Today we will be discussing the multi-billion-dollar fashion industry and the creative people who work inside it.
New York City is known as one of the fashion capitals of the world. Its twice-yearly Fashion Week attracts media from around the world to capture the beauty and the ambiance of the display of models, celebrities, and beautiful people. But what happens behind the scenes of this glamorous business?
Here to discuss his own experience in the fashion industry is Ernie Ulysse, Creative Director of Custom Bespoke Fashion Line, Alexander Nash. Welcome to Media Industries.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you.
We're happy to have you.
Thanks.
So we're just going to get started. We just want to get started with, so what exactly do you do, and what does bespoke means to you?
Okay, so what we do at Alexander Nash is that we basically empower men.
Okay.
And we do that through dressing them up. We have a phrase called undressing the art of dressing up. And what we're trying to do is let men understand what a well-fitted garment does for your personality, does for your self-esteem, and how it makes you feel. The term bespoke comes from an old British term. It means to be spoken for. So what they used that term was for in reference to cloth,
okay,
which meant that this cloth was only for you. So it's the beauty about what we do is that we specify and we cut garments specifically for each individual, and we cut it uniquely to fit their individual frame. So that's really what we do.
So is there a difference between custom and bespoke, or is it the same?
Yeah, because a lot of guys are using that phrase bespoke.
Okay.
But they're not really doing bespoke.
Yeah.
They're just customizing it. So what they're doing is they're making them a 42 suit, and they're customizing the lapel, and they're customizing the fabric. You know, they're choosing the different colors they can put on their stitching and their lining and all those different things. They don't really specify when it comes to really fit. They're making a garment, sending it to a factory, it coming back, and then they're altering it so it can fit them. But they're not really specifying each individual posture like we do.
Oh, got it.
So you guys keep everything in account when you do that? You keep an account like shoulder width and
Oh,
like
of course.
everything?
Of course.
Everything? Wow.
Every nook and cranny. So every gentleman is unique in its own way, and everyone has a unique posture. So the idea is to cut the cloth in a way to accommodate your posture and your fit. So that's basically what we do.
All right. So Mayor de Blasio is contemplating moving the fashion district from its long-standing home in Midtown Manhattan. Now, this can cause, certain, should I say, harm to the fashion industry. Will this harm you in any way?
Well, overall for us, because our business model is really direct to consumer,
Okay.
so we don't really source as much in the fashion on the fashion district. The only thing we're really buying there is really supplies.
Okay.
And we make all our things in house. So our tailors cut and sew everything in house. But for the bigger picture, New York is the mecca of fashion, right? And just the feel that the city has, and the beat and the bounce it has, knowing what the history is about. It's definitely going to be something that I think should stay in the city, because if it's gone, it'll definitely be missed, just because of the energy it brings and the vibe it brings to the city. So hopefully it doesn't go anywhere.
So at Alexander Nash, I'm very curious. How is the structure of your business run?
So we're basically a direct-to-consumer business.
Okay.
So we don't really market into retail stores. So we're not creating a line that's going to be in Bergdorf's or in Neiman Marcus. We're basically meeting each individual, and every individual is a new canvas. So we're starting.
So everybody gets to see you.
Right. Not necessarily me, but they would see someone who would, start from scratch for them.
Okay.
So we're basically building the suit for them.
Okay.
Each separate time.
So do you guys take advantage of blogs and magazines and social media?
Well, of course. This is funny because I have two takes on this, because magazines can be kind of biased, but we've definitely used a lot of bloggers. I don't like to use that term blogs. I like to use the term influencers, because we kind of handpick the individual we use, who has a nice amount of following and a great sense of style, and something that replicates what we're trying to portray. And then we partner up with influencers to get just the awareness of what we're doing. So we often partner up with a lot of different influencers all over the city and all over the country.
So I've noticed within your company, basically you guys have a lot of ties with celebrities and, as you said, influence, but more so celebrities. So is that a strategy you guys have within the company to reach out to celebrities?
No,
or?
not really. It's funny, we never try to pitch to any celebrity.
Okay.
Usually their stylists will contact us, but just because of the things they've seen that we've done.
Okay.
And their stylist would say, hey, I want you to dress Tyson Beckford. Hey, I want you to, do Charlemagne's book cover. Hey, I want you. So we never tried to market ourselves towards the celebrities. We just want to see people and see guys who want to dress up. It's not about the status you have or the amount of money you make, but it's about, who you are as an individual and what you want to do and how you want to feel about yourself. So, we dress celebrities, but we also dress, regular Joes on Wall Street that works on Wall Street. And, I've done a lot of things with young people as well, so.
Okay, got it. So you talk a lot about males, but it seems to me that women are like the biggest consumers in the fashion industry.
Definitely.
So why is it that their role is not seen much in the positions of in the creative branch or the ownership? Why is that?
Well, it's unfortunate, because when you look at it, the only name I can think of that definitely crossed over is Donna Karan, right?
Okay, right.
She is definitely the example for a lot of young designers out there, female designers, because she's really done it on all levels when it comes to women and men's. But it's weird. It's unfortunate that they don't really have those positions. I think we need some more. So if there's any out there right now, do what you need to do to get out there and keep fighting, because we're waiting for that next Donna Karan.
So you said do what you need to do. We know the fashion industry is very competitive, so we were just wondering, what are some problems that you may encounter when trying to make it in the fashion industry?
Well, one of the things you're going to always encounter, especially with my line of work, with menswear is only, men's clothing and suiting, there's only a certain amount of creativity and innovation you can have when it comes to suits.
Okay.
because the suit has been cut the same way from the early 1900s until it's cut today. So what we try to do is just brand ourselves in a way where it's geared towards people and is geared towards empowerment. So I think you have to tell a story to make you set apart from the rest of the guys, because the garments look the same. If you look at my Navy suit and you look at Tom Ford's Navy suit, I mean, besides my cut's gonna be a lot better, but Tom Ford's Navy suit, you're gonna say, oh man, it's the same Navy suit, because it's probably the same cloth and it's probably the same color, it's probably both 1 or 2 button. But if each brand tells their own unique story, now you set yourself apart from the Alexander Nash Navy suit and the Tom Ford Navy suit. So I think that's really important.
So you talk about story. I want to backtrack just a tiny little bit.
Okay.
So how did you really get your start in the?
So it's funny. I was always. I love menswear, fashion, but it's a long story. I don't want you to ask me this question, but let's see if I can break it up. So I worked after college. I worked a lot in retail.
Okay.
I was always the young guy who was innovative when it came to clothing. I remember back in early 2000, 2002.
Okay.
I was like a junior or senior in high school, and I was going to school one day, and I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, wait a minute. This is all wrong. My pants is too baggy, and my shirt is too long, and this T-shirt is huge. So I remember running to H&M that weekend and getting a whole new list of clothes. I go back to school on Monday, and everyone laughed at me.
Oh,
They said, yo, what are you doing? Your jeans are too tight, your shirt is too short and small. So I was like, no, this fits me. Your stuff is too big. But then when you look down the line, now everyone's wearing more fitted garments. Everyone's wearing, the baggy stuff is really out.
Yeah.
So that really let me know that I was a trendsetter, and I wasn't afraid to make risks and have my own sense of style. So further down the line, I was always intrigued with menswear because I worked as a personal stylist.
Okay.
But as working as a personal stylist, I was kind of put in a box because I couldn't really create. I had to really pull what I can find in the retail stores, and I couldn't really get anything that can fit any individual. So then I started to do my research on bespoke and custom garments. Fell in love with it. I met an individual named Alex who started Alexander Nash.
Okay.
And then I left my retail job at the time and worked as an intern under him. Worked there as an intern for a couple of years. Because I was like, yo, you know what? It's either I can do a 9-to-5 or I can get into this space and really soak it up and learn every aspect of this and really become a student of this craft. And that's what I did. Later down the line, it opened up doors for me. And 5 years later, I ended up taking over and buying the company. So that's how I got started.
Okay.
So, I would always tell people, being an intern or no, being a student of the craft that you want to be in.
So not an intern, but a student.
Yeah, not only, and when I say student, doesn't necessarily mean, it just means to learn the craft you want to be a part of.
Got it.
Okay.
And really try to submit yourself to just trying to observe as much information, because that's more value than a check. Because, the early saying, you give a man fish, you feed him for a day, but if you show him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Right.
So it's that same principle of trying to really learn as much as you want in the industry you want to be a part of, and whatever it takes to take you wherever you want to go.
Okay. So going back to internships, we know that a lot of internships are unpaid. Do you believe that people should be paid for their hard work and their labor?
So for me, I'll tell you my own story. I saw more value in the education in the industry that I wanted to be a part of, because I knew this is what I wanted to do. Now, when it's an internship that you're not sure about, and you're not sure if you want to dive totally into the career, it might not make sense for you to go into an internship that's taking all your time and not giving you anything.
Okay.
So normally I tell interns to get an internship that's going to give you class credit, or it's an internship that's going to help you towards where you want to be.
Yeah.
Because that's more valuable than than a check anywhere. You know, the amount of education that you're going to get and the amount of knowledge you're going to get is going to take you a long way. So.
Yeah.
So what innovative strategies have you and your team come up with to raise your visibility?
Innovative strategies. One of the things I would say we've done is we try to tell stories. Back again to the stories.
Okay.
We tell stories on dads. You know, we tell stories about our clients. We tell
Okay.
stories about young men. We tell stories about myself, and we try to create these cool, interesting stories that allow people to really dive in and get drawn to the brand.
Okay.
That's-
So on alexandernash.com, we see it as a brand integrated on all social media platforms
Definitely.
like Twitter, Facebook, via Instagram.
Mhm.
So I just want to does these type of platforms do you guys harm in any way, shape, or form?
No, for us, it's actually it's been a blessing because we don't spend any money on marketing. We haven't since the day we opened. Every sense of marketing that we use is through social media. So it's through the small YouTube videos, the posts on Instagram. Really not huge on Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram, we definitely try to build as much content as possible so people can get an idea of what we're doing in New York City. So it's been amazing of what, you know, social media can do for, you know, an entrepreneur or a startup company on all levels.
It's almost like free publicity.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's the opportunity to engage, especially with all the things Instagram is doing with Instagram Lives and all those different things, to engage and communicate to people within seconds. You know, it was unheard of 10 years ago. So it's amazing. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely changed the game. So how do you incorporate vertical integration? And by that, I mean you're creative director. So how are you involved in the aspects of production and distribution of your industry?
So, like I said earlier, for us, production is just based on direct to consumer. So I definitely do oversee the whole process of production from start to finish. But as far as distribution, we're not getting into resale stores, so everything is basically in-house. So we're not really focused on the distribution aspect, but as far as the production aspect, I oversee everything from start to finish. So I'm always trying to see how we can service our clients better and how we can have a better finished garment. So every day I'm on my bed or I'm on the bus and I'm on my phone and I'm trying to figure out ways to be better service-wise and to provide the best service out there.
So it seems like you're very hands-on with your product.
Definitely. Right now I am.
All right. So in the future, do you guys think that you more so put Alexander Nash more in retail, like retail stores, like?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Because my background was retail. I know how retail works. You're totally not in control of your product.
So it's all about ownership. That's what you guys are big on, ownership.
We're big on being in control of the stories we tell, the things we want to portray, our price points, and our quality.
Okay.
We're very big on the type of product we provide, and we feel like we provide the best one out there, and our quality is the best. And when you get into retail, sometimes, you know, they just want to mass market and find a way to do it faster and cheaper. And for us, we really focus on the process, because that process that takes you from, you know, a cut cloth into a finished garment is incredible for us. And it's an experience that men really love, and we don't want to take that away. So as far as scaling, it would just be opening up another Alexander Nash space and providing more tailors and more individuals like myself.
Got it.
So earlier you had mentioned having different types of faces for the brand, almost like a sponsorship for the brand. How exactly do you go into that? What are some things that you look at to have a face of the brand?
It's not really faces of the brand. It's more, we call them men of Nash. And what it is, it's the individual that he lives his life for his family, for his loved ones, and he does things to impact people on all fronts. He's an individual that's not about himself, but he's more about others, and he's an individual that's interesting on all levels. And the way we do that is just, it's funny. It's just how, like, I just meet people and, you know, we connect.
So you know right away.
It's so organic. Yeah, it's weird. Like, if I say I had a list of people and I said, oh, this guy was a man of Nash and this guy wasn't, I'll be lying to you. It's usually like, oh, this guy's cool, but this guy is really a man of Nash. And this guy's cool, he's a client, but a man of Nash is like, not to exclude any individual, but it's just about what you're doing and how you're impacting people, because that's part of the story we want to tell. And I think everybody can on some level.
So being a man of Nash isn't so much about how you look; it's about what you do for the community.
Yeah, it's about your character more than how you look, and that's the funny thing. That's the flip about this industry, because, you know, most suiting companies would never, you know, talk about that, because for them it's all about the appearance. But for us, the appearance is just something we do because we love it. It doesn't really define who we are. So we don't dress up for you to give us a compliment. We dress up because of the way it makes us feel. So yes, it's about the individual rather than the clothes. And it's funny because it's like, you're selling clothes, though. It should be about the clothes, but no.
So you talk about, like, the quality and what the consumer is getting. So why do you talk about that so much, the quality?
Quality for the custom suit industry, quality is important, and the beauty about what we do is about the craft.
Okay.
Our tailors cut and sew everything by hand. So in order to get a garment from cloth into a finished garment, you have to have quality fine cloth and quality fine supplies.
Okay.
So we only use a free-floating horsehair canvas, which is hand-stitched to the garment, because it gives the garment a body, which gives it that sense of perfect fit and form, which is amazing. Which, you know, when you look at our garments and you look at a suit off the rack, you can instantly kind of tell the difference. So it's important.
So it's very important. That's very good. So one of the things we wanted to speak to you about, you said before you were more for blogs and social media. Has there ever been any thoughts about expanding that to, say, billboards or commercials or things of that nature?
To gain more exposure.
Yeah. Well, for us, billboards is a waste of money, because now with today's generation, right, the attention span is so low. So you have to try your best to get their attention within, I think they said the statistics now is like, where if you notice in videos, right, before you can make a video for 2-minute video and tell that story. If you look at old commercials from the, you know, early 1900s and the 1940s and 30s, but now commercials are like, what, 5 to 30 seconds.
Yeah,
right?
you can even skip them on YouTube now.
Yeah. So the attention span is so low, so something like a billboard for us doesn't make sense. We're trying to find a way we can maximize the attention on a smaller, and social media, Instagram, and all these other, you know, avenues are a lot better way to capitalize on that.
So I noticed that, like, the logo of your brand is a flower. So is that like the integrity of your brand?
So the flower for us represents the most ultimate designer of them all, right? And that's God, because you know, we have a strong faith in what we stand for. And if you look at the flowers, or if you look at the trees and all the different colors and the beauty and the design of just creation, you know, that's basically the center and the foundation of what we stand by. And, you know, since, you know, all of the beauty and all the beautiful things that's in that, we like to, you know, just take from those things and express our sense of beauty and color and fine art.
All right, so we see fashion as like a cutthroat, well, from the outside looking in, it looks like a cutthroat business. It's fast-paced, everybody's like running and it's no jogging. So we just want to know, in your industry, specifically in the bespoke industry, is it like that?
It's totally different.
Totally different, okay.
So for us, and that's the beauty about what we do, and that's why I love it so much, because it's about a process, right? So it's something that takes time, and it's something that each individual has to commit to that process. So our suits take about 4 to 6 weeks from an idea into a finished garment. So now it's not about, oh, I need it quick. So that energy you get from retail stores, oh, I gotta get a suit, let me go, yeah, okay, it fits, run. No, it doesn't work like that. You gotta really think about it, you gotta really plan it out.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the awesome things about what we do, because it's that process, right? It's that slowing down and saying, you know what, I care about the way I look, I care about the way I present myself so much, and I love to do things to help me present myself in a better way so much that I'm gonna take the time to go through this process.
So how long does it usually take, the process?
It takes 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the construction and what we're doing, and,
Wow,
and how many suits he's making and all that stuff.
I always had this idea of the fashion industry being like, oh, we have to do this, have to do that. So hearing that is like a breath of fresh air, knowing that you can take your time and perfect everything.
Yeah, it's funny because the custom suit industry is it's not the same like the fashion industry. For us, we do pre-select the cloth we're going to use every season, but we're not really designing collections.
Or for trends.
And I like to say this term all the time, we don't follow trends, we follow standard. So our garments are supposed to be cut to be timeless and to be classic. So we're not following the next cool thing. Don't get me wrong, we do things that makes it a little bit more modern and up to date with the cut, but we stick to our standard and we don't follow the trends that's out there,
Yeah, you like to be different. You said it before when you were telling your story. You were wearing more fit clothes while everybody was wearing baggy clothes. Your business keeps that motto.
But that's timeless. Fit is timeless.
Yeah.
It's the trends that got guys wearing baggy, crazy stuff. You got to wear a garment that fits you, right?
Yeah.
That's the plan. Even in the early years of whatever, if you go to BC times, they were cutting their robes to fit their size.
Yeah.
They wasn't wearing huge baggy robes. Whoa, no, this is not my robe. This is my father's robe. So.
That's great.
That's great. So that's all our time we have here today.
Awesome.
And we want to thank Mr. Ulysse for coming in today and shedding some light on some of the topics and questions overlooked in the industry. I'm sure our viewers would like to keep in contact with you and know more about your brand. So where can we?
So you can contact us at our website at www.alexandernash.com.
Okay.
We're also on Instagram. It's Alexander Nash NYC, and Twitter and Facebook, Alexander Nash, at Alexander Nash, at Alexander Nash.
All right, that is all of our time for today. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Media Industries. If you want to see more of our work and the shows we've done, please visit www.bronxnet.org.